Hi everybody, Amar back with the second part of my video with tips and tricks for Lord of Lords. I did a separate video for Phase 1 and some other preparation stuff, and I'll post a link to that right here. So let's move on to the other phases. Okay, so looking at Lord of Lords Phase 2, as you see here, it's inner city infrastructure. So you get points for buildings, and you get points for completing research. Now, research is where the big thing is going to happen. Buildings, not so much. I suppose what you could do is you could demolish buildings and make them again, and that would get you points, but you don't get a lot of points from doing buildings. If you have a building that you can get up to the next level using honor banners, something within your city, then go for it. I already have mine up at the maximum levels, so I don't really bother with buildings anymore. Research is really what I do. And with research, this is a little bit late in the day, so I can't really show you completely, but what you can do is you can front load your tasks. When you know Lord of Lords is coming, and you can see it when it comes, on the event calendar, if you know it's coming, then you can kind of front load your operation, so to speak, so that you have a research task and building task, if you want, ready to go, to be finished or sped up, in time for Phase 2, or also for Phase 5, because Phase 5 you also get points for building and research, among other things. So, the obvious things you can do at this point, there's not a whole lot special you can do, but if you have the buffs, the increasing of construction speed that you can do in the Sept of the Seven, and you can also increase your research speed, obviously. And before you start the task, I think everybody is aware that you can change your gear to either construction or research, whatever. I think everybody's aware of those things. But what I'd like to do is I like to set it up. I generally don't waste my speed ups, even when I had need of them. I tended not to waste them. So I usually save them for Lord of Lords to finish these tasks. Another thing that I look out for, just because it's for me, I'm the kind of guy who likes to try to kill two birds with one stone, so to speak. Wait until have a look at the elite tasks every once in a while, especially if you can get Tyrion medals or chests that you need. Here I'm looking at Blackbeard's chests. I don't really need those right now, but if I can get Stoneway or Westerlands or something like that I do need in order to promote or to promote my or upgrade my equipment in Forge, then I'll definitely do that. So keep your eye out for elite bonuses, whatever. Every little bit counts. Sometimes there's diamonds and other goodies as you go. Another thing I want to point out is that generally speaking, this always seems to be the case. The best effort task happens almost always in line with your Lord of Lords Phase 1 and Phase 2, which is interesting because best effort is all about gathering, and it's also about speed ups. So take advantage of this opportunity. I still have a little bit of time to do it, I think. I still have another hour. I'm not really going to bother because I think I'm up where I want to be. But do be aware of that. On every server that I've ever been on, the best effort task lines up with Phase 1 and Phase 2. So use that to your advantage and get yourself some extra Sabrina medals, which is what the Lord of Lord events is really all about. Okay, so Phase 3, training soldiers. Again, pretty simple. You get points for every troop you train. Now, you could go whole hog and you could train a lot of troops here. I tend to not go nuts. Just train for basically what I need. Similar to Phase 2, I look for elite events where training soldiers, you get some bonuses for them. This is one with stuff that I kind of really don't need, so I don't need to go whole hog on this. But again, if it's for some chests I need for Lord gear or Tyrion medals or something like that, Sure, yeah, I'll pump out some soldiers to get the points. And the other thing is Valyrian Steel. Now, if you're at the point where you are actually able to build the Ancient Foundry, you can build Valyrian Steel, even if you don't have the research done for the ancient troops. You can still build Valyrian Steel weapons in anticipation of that. And like you can do in Phase 2, you can also front load your build. So, for example, I did kind of a nerdy thing where I actually calculated, okay, when is Phase 3 going to be done? So going back over here, you can see that it's done in about 1 day and 10 hours, 50 minutes. So I'm doing Valyrian Steel. I'm doing a task that's going to wrap up in 1 day and 5 minutes. I was off by a little bit, but you can see that all of this Valyrian Steel is also going to go towards my Phase 3 total. So this is not really where I kind of go nuts with it, but it's there. And again, I have in the past front-loaded the Phase 3 tasks. If that's something you want to do, you can always increase your training speed using the buff in the Sept of the Seven, and you can also use the training expansion. If you're lucky enough to get one for 600,000, that's super. Use that. But even the 200,000 one or even the 50,000 one can increase the amount of troops that you can train at a time. And again, if you time it properly, you can pump out a lot of points this way. It's a great opportunity if you've been zeroed or if you're in a position where you need to rebuild your army. To take advantage of this opportunity for the extra points. See, here's a good opportunity for me to get a Tyrion medal and some Stoneway chests, which I desperately need. Well, desperately is not the right word, but I need them. So let me see what I'll do, because I've got the speed ups and I have the resources, is I'll just pump out some Spearmen for Lord of Lords 3. So during Phase 4 of Lord of Lords, you get points for attacking rebel leaders. Now, I don't want to do the necessarily nerdy math here, but you're best off doing level 4 or better yet level 5 leaders if you can. Level 6 is even better from a pure points standpoint if you are able to hit level 6. Level 1, level 2, level 3 don't give you the rewards that level 4 plus do. Now, you're not going to get tons of points here no matter what you do. Even if you have a lot of motivation racked up, don't go nuts with this part. You would have to hit, dozens of level 5 or level 6 leaders to get even up to 100,000 points in this phase. So get the bonuses, do the normal thing, and that's the best way to go about it. What you can do, for points, you actually want to have as many hits as possible, so it doesn't really matter. It's kind of neither here nor there. But if you are going to hit level 6s, for example, or even level 5s, you might want to use an increased damage against rebel leaders buff from the Sept of the Seven, to speed things along. That's totally up to you. Doesn't really matter much from a points standpoint for the Lord of Lords itself. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video covering phases 2, 3, and 4 of Lord of Lords. I'll have one more video upcoming where we finalize things for the pivotal Phase 5 and finally Phase 6, Lord of War. See you next time. Game of Thrones gets the Shadow the Cat seal of approval.